Hi there, unknown person. It's been a long time, God. This is something very special that I have here. Less fat, less fat. Since I can remember, fatless has been a part of my family. Whoa. All right, all right. He spent years hanging in his father's home in France. Rebecca Pritchard continued to be a vital part of Salvage Hunters for many years, assisting Drew Pritchard in reviving antiques. Her knowledge and attention to detail were appreciated by the audience. Fans were left wondering when she abruptly ceased making appearances on the show. Her departure left fans perplexed. Was there significant repercussions behind the scenes? Theories surfaced in the absence of an official statement. Some gave health reasons, while others gave a new purpose in life. What is the truth? What is the truth? Come share your thoughts about Rebecca Pritchard's abrupt exit from Salvage Hunters. Salvage Hunters last saw Rebecca Pritchard in episode 12 of season 18. Since then, fans are still looking for answers as rumors continue to circulate online. Since Rebecca was crucial in evaluating antiques and providing advice on restoration, her absence from the show undoubtedly created a visible void. However, she wasn't absent because of disagreement or fallout, despite what many fans think. Rather, it was her own choice to turn her attention to other endeavors. Rebecca said she is excitedly moving on to new challenges and wants to make room for the next generation on the show in the farewell video that Salvage Hunters shared on Instagram. I've been following this series since the beginning, as you are aware, and I must say that I have truly enjoyed it. The experience has been instructive. I've met antique dealers, historians, and hoarders, and your viewing has greatly contributed to the program's current state. So, thank you very much and be careful. You see, Rebecca had already established a prosperous career outside of Salvage Hunters when she joined the show. She began her career in the women's apparel sector, focusing on retail, wholesale, and production. As a result, she was able to travel to several nations and get useful business experience. Rebecca eventually decided to leave the show after pursuing other interests and business ventures over the years. Rebecca made it clear that she left the program because she wanted to take on new challenges rather than because she was worried about any negative effects. Her choices were affected by a few things, though. An alleged affair between her ex-husband and a lady called Amanda Thomas was one of the reasons she didn't appear on the show. The affair swiftly became a widely reported controversy that impacted Drew's reputation in the workplace as well as in his personal life. A trustworthy source claims that Drew and Amanda originally became friends with one other through their sons. Their bond deepened over time and eventually blossomed into a love one. Although the exact timing of their affair is unknown, it was made public when Amanda's husband, Janice Bryn Thomas, learned of his wife's adultery. Being a busy businessman, Janice initially failed to notice anything out of the ordinary. But when he kept seeing Drew's number in his wife's texts and call logs, he became concerned. He confronted Amanda because of Janice's suspicions, and she naturally confessed to the affair, which started a series of dramatic occurrences. When Amanda made the decision to break up with Drew, things became more heated. In reaction, Drew texted Amanda to accuse her husband of being a coward for not pursuing retribution for the affair. After Amanda showed her husband the text message, he rushed to the Liverpool Arms, a pub in Conway, North Wales, to confront Drew. He said that Drew smirked and recognized him when Janice came at the pub. Furious, he went up to Drew, struck his skull, and knocked him to the ground. Given Drew's reputation as a television personality, the confrontation at the pub immediately attracted media notice, which resulted in Janice facing legal repercussions. After being charged in court, he was forced to pay £17.21, which comprised £181 in legal fees, £100 in compensation, and a £14.40 fine. He was also prohibited from entering the Liverpool Arms and other nearby pubs. Drew, who wasn't totally innocent, had to deal with his own consequences as well. After the legal proceedings, he was first put on a temporary pub watch list and then permanently barred from the establishment. Despite the fact that the court decision resolved the case, Amanda Thomas created still another problem. Amanda reportedly disclosed that she has been harassed by text messages from other women who said they were involved with Drew ever after the confrontation was made public. These ladies claimed that Amanda had ruined their relationships, indicating that Drew had a number of other women in addition to Amanda. Salvage Hunters fans were taken aback by the disclosures, and the controversy gained widespread attention, particularly in the neighborhood where the fight occurred. The controversy severely strained Drew's marriage and severely tarnished his formerly solid reputation as a reputable antiques dealer. It is important to remember that Drew and Rebecca Pritchard were still legally wed at the time of the affair. The scandal was somewhat difficult and traumatic for Rebecca. She fought to keep a professional relationship with her husband throughout, and after the controversy, in addition to enduring the public humiliation of his affair, they eventually got divorced because their tension became intolerable over time. The Pritchards were the reverse of the current entertainment industry tendency, which is lavish weddings and brief marriages. The romance between Rebecca and Drew started in the early 1990s. Rebecca was employed in the women's fashion field when their romance began, while Drew was just starting out in his antiquities business. It was immediately apparent that the two had a deep bond when they first met, when Rebecca came to visit Drew's antique store. They began dating because of their shared passion for design and antiques. After a few dates, their romance bloomed and they made the decision to get married. Rebecca and Drew exchanged nuptials and started a life together a few months later. The Pritchards had a daughter named Grace and a son named Tom during their marriage. The former lovers avoided the spotlight while pursuing salvage hunting as a means of establishing a public career. Being the oldest, Tom was probably exposed to the world of restoration and trading at a young age, since he grew up surrounded by the family's antiquities company. However, nothing is known about Grace's life and hobbies, indicating that she has stayed even more discreet. However, when Drew's extramarital escapades were discovered, their apparently ideal life was upended. Rebecca reportedly filed for their marriage's divorce in 2017, formally terminating their decades-long union. Although the precise causes were never disclosed, it is generally accepted that Drew's behavior had a significant influence on Rebecca's choice. Drew has a strong interest in room setups and the proper placement of certain items. Could we just put that one in the spotlight there? Fine, there. Simply let it some breathing space. There, turn it around. Position yourself in the doorway. It's okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This tub is also a fantastic retail item. It's large, but it can still fit in the vehicle. Rebecca and Drew continued to work together and maintain their professionalism despite their divorce, concentrating on their children and their joint antiques business. Following their 2017 divorce, their financial settlement attracted notice, especially because of the value of their joint holdings. The court decided that Rebecca was entitled to a share of their $8 million in joint assets, despite the fact that their split was characterized as amicable. This asset distribution was required to provide a just settlement for each party. Their house, an 18th-century chapel Drew bought in 1995, was one of the most prominent properties in the area. Given its distinctive qualities and the painstaking efforts made to maintain its ancient identity, the Conway, North Wales property was placed for sale for £795,000. Among its many distinctive features was an elaborate toilet that had once belonged to Rolling Stones frontman Nancy Jagger. To make it even more distinctive, it had a huge pond, 3 stables, and a vacation cottage. So, in addition to the money, Drew and Rebecca put their family first throughout the divorce process. They maintained stability and support by continuing to co-parent their two children. Even so, their cordial split made it possible for them to concentrate on their personal and professional lives following the divorce. Rebecca explored other interests, both personal and professional, while Drew kept up his job in the antiques industry and on Salvage Hunters. Nevertheless, it is reasonable to presume that Rebecca's experiences had an impact on her choice to leave Salvage Hunters. Rebecca has continued to be involved in the antique sector since leaving Salvage Hunters. She now serves private customers and interior designers as a decorative antiques dealer, researcher, and specialist, drawing on her vast network and knowledge. She has a solid reputation in the industry thanks to her knowledge and attention to detail, which enables her to succeed outside of the show. Rebecca has gone back to her roots in real estate development, aside from antiques. She currently runs a campground and vacation rental company that provides lodging for tourists looking for a comfortable stay. Running a bed and breakfast, a modest family-friendly hotel that allows visitors to stay overnight, is one of her business endeavors. Rebecca maintains an active lifestyle outside of real estate, which keeps her involved. Horseback riding is one of her favorite pastimes. Yeah, It is clear from her Pinterest profile that she has been active in equestrian pursuits since she was a little girl, and that they continue to play a significant role in her life. Horseback riding is more than just a pastime for her. It's a way for her to decompress and escape the stresses of work and business. Cooking is one of Rebecca's other passions. She likes to take on new challenges, experiment in the kitchen, and use food as a vehicle for creativity. For Rebecca, cooking is more than simply a pastime. It plays a significant role in her everyday existence. With the same curiosity that formerly made her an authority on fashion and antiques, now enables her to relax and discover various culinary cultures. Rebecca has also taken up caravanning in recent years. She is able to travel, visit historic locations, and explore various places because to this newly discovered enthusiasm. She can also get ideas for her commercial endeavors from it. Since her divorce from Drew Pritchard, Rebecca has made the personal decision to stay alone. A romantic relationship with John T., a former Salvage Hunters cast member, has been rumored, although it has not been verified. Now that we know what happened to Rebecca Pritchard, let's see how she became involved with Salvage Hunters. Greetings for the afternoon. How are we doing? Isn't that pleasant? Where have you been? Spain? Hererdshire's Witten Estate. On site is a distillery, a distillation plant. Yes, there was a good deal of a cassis was present. Their specialty is English cassis. After drinking at a bar, you returned with this. Yes, I mean the days of hiding behind screens and then tossing your stocking over are long gone. The leather screen is embossed. It's really well done. This might be displayed in a store or used as wall art. Rebecca had established a 20-year career in the fashion sector, working in manufacturing, retail, and wholesale in Hong Kong and the United Kingdom before making her television debut. She first met her ex-husband during this time. Following her move to North Wales to work in real estate development, where she purchased and sold houses, Rebecca's aptitude for design and restoration started to coincide with Drew's love of repurposing antiques. Luckily, when the show debuted on Quest in 2011, her ex-husband assumed the role as primary host. In fact, it's a very fantastic house. It's great. Do you think you could sell me this? Indeed. May I take a look? Yes, of course. Take a peek. Take a peek. Take a peek. Yes, without a doubt. I adore the hue. Rebecca stayed behind the camera at first, but her increasing proficiency with antiques and restoration made her a perfect fit for the show. She took over as a co-presenter after a few more seasons, adding a different viewpoint to Drew's research. Her job on the show was to estimate expenses and revenues while assessing the history, state, and possibilities for restoration of various things. She also assisted in restoring the objects to their ideal state, making sure that each one was properly cared for before being put on display or offered for sale. Rebecca's involvement on the show grew in significance over time. Her on-screen chemistry with Drew and her ability to explain the antiques business to viewers were noted by the producers. In other words, in addition to evaluating antiques, she contributed invaluable knowledge that enhanced the show's appeal. As a result, she was offered a spin-off show by the producers. Despite having a similar concept to the original show, the spin-off Salvage Hunters, the restorers concentrated more on the artisans who restored the antiques the crew discovered. She had a straightforward job on the spin-off. She investigated the condition and history of the brought-in antiquities and decided what needed to be done to make them valuable again. She next made sure the restaurateurs knew the item's history and significance by outlining any necessary repairs or upgrades. In addition, she assisted in assessing the shop's potential profitability from the repair. Rebecca calculated the potential sale price of an item following restoration using her knowledge of antiques. This assisted the group in assessing the value of their work. If he returns with posters or signage related to scooter memorabilia, the Lamberta Museum might see a significant increase in revenue. The one thing that worries me is that Drew is obsessed with scooters and won't stop buying them despite his business brain. She occasionally also gave viewers an explanation of the restoration procedure, emphasizing the significance of particular fixes. The spin-off series was a huge hit because of Rebecca's experience. Her hands-on approach and ability to revitalize ancient objects were well received by viewers, making the show both entertaining and educational. But Rebecca didn't stay on the show for long. Many fans who had come to value her knowledge and on-screen persona were disappointed when she quit the show after just 6 seasons. Rebecca's tenure on the show was successful, but not without its difficulties. Fans frequently linked her success to her ex-husband, which was one of the difficulties she encountered. Although this would seem typical, Rebecca was disappointed because she had put a lot of effort into becoming an expert in the antiquities sector. Many people overlook the fact that Rebecca has years of expertise prior to appearing on the show. In an interview, her ex-husband said that before Rebecca joined him on the show, she had lived in Hong Kong, where she worked in the fashion industry and honed her sense of style and quality. She was able to recognize trends, determine value, and comprehend craftsmanship thanks to her fashion expertise, all of which were crucial in her appraisal of antiques. Therefore, it was not only distressing to Rebecca that some fans blamed Drew for her success, but it also showed a lack of respect for her own knowledge and achievements.